Well, what is it you want to...
Have you been in contact?
I haven't. He's...
Are you surprised that he stayed in Ijincho after resigning?
No, not really.
How about the fact that now he's using it?
I had no clue. But again...
Do you remember me?
Yes, we were classmates.
He jumped off the school's roof after his classmate Shinya. I hear he's still in a coma.
Weren't you going to ask me about...
I was. But there seemed to be an awful lot of... And strangely enough, Kitakata-sensei being the prime example. As well as a...
Well, you're right. We were in the same
And would you
class.
say you're all familiar with Mitsuru Kusama?
Yes, but... That...
I understand. I'm sure it's not. The groping was orchestrated, right?
Excuse you?
When Akihiro Ihara grabbed you on the train, you were in on that, weren't you? The whole thing was a conspiracy, staged to play out as it did.
You need to leave. Right now.
Dude, what gives?
No one would even think to consider a predator and his victim could be accomplices. But if it was to establish a murder alibi, that's another story, considering how much lighter the sentence is. That way, Ihara got away with killing Mikoshiba, paying only a fraction of the price. But as luck would have it, proving it is going to require you.
If you don't get up this second, I am calling the police. I mean it.
It took me quite a long time to figure out how you... But once I learned Yokosawa attended Kurakawa, and all, she was in your homeroom class. She looked after Toshio Ihara. She was the link to everyone. But just before I could ask her about any of this, that same gang has been hunting your old teacher.
What is it you want from me?
Mamiya-san, do you have any idea where Kitakata-san... He may be Kawana the handyman, but he hasn't answered his work lines.
I don't know. He was my teacher a decade ago. I barely remember his face.
Well, I'm willing to wager Kitakata-sensei still remembers you.
Oh, God.
See for yourself.
No.
This was recorded at Kurakawa Academy. It was well hidden. Your Kitakata-sensei had it on a USB drive. He really didn't want this thing being seen. The most interesting part is the date. It's the very same day Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped off the school roof. And hanging out in the back, we see you, laughing and cheering right along with the other bullies.
Guess it's safe to say it's a good thing your family wasn't home. Wouldn't exactly want them seeing this, would we?
Has this video come up? Has Kitakata-sensei ever mentioned to you that he had it?
Please. Please delete it.
Considering the angle, I get the feeling that this was recorded in secret. And based on your reaction, did you even know it existed?
You know what happened to Mitsuru-kun. He's been in a coma ever since what you did to him that day. But still, only one of you took the fall. Shinya Kawai took all the blame. Well, sorta, being that he got fired, Kitakata-sensei took heat too. Still, you all just moved right along with your lives. You've even got happy little families. What? Are you expecting someone?
Mamiya-san?
Well, I knew it would happen someday.
What do you mean?
Looks like she wanted some company over. would you look at that? So you are all working together.
What should we do with them? They're the
Break every finger on their hand, it still won't make you even. I have an old haunt in mind we move this to.
Huh?
Let's not cause a scene, okay? I'd hate for a finger to slip and post this video.
Hey, you think this is your personal jail, Yagami? What makes—
Well, it's the safest spot we know. Doesn't it feel good to be safe?
Yeah, Higashi, be cool. We won't
be cool? You think time—
What's your call? We kicking him out?
Oh, quick bit of news, Higashi-san. Kaito's—
What? What the fuck?
You'll know once we're done explaining. Let me introduce you to Mamiya. She called up her friends to come after us.
Yeah. And I'd do it again.
I don't give a shit about that! What happened? Fuck those RK assholes! And how could Aniki—
Now that Higashi-san's up to speed, should we get to it? I imagine—
What do you intend to do with
First, you'll tell us everything you know.
Then let's get this over with.
Let's start with the video. Any thoughts you'd care to share? I found it on a flash drive in Kitakata-sensei's room. Or should I take it that means—
Yes.
That means Kawana already knew back then
Yes.
if that's the case, then why was Shinya Kawana-san didn't show that tape to anyone else?
We had no idea we didn't find out about the video. Or the reason he sat on it so long until—
Why exactly did he sit on—
Kitakata-sensei said he kept it so.
What?
If that video came out at the time of the incident, after all, Kawai was exposed online, and that would mean millions—
Yeah, but you guys could have wound up in the same boat.
No. We might have caught some flack, but people would chalk it up to— But that's only how I would have gone if it had come out while we were still—
You're saying circumstances are—
I have a child now. If the world sees that tape now, then what do you think would happen? The son of a woman who drove a kid to attempt suicide? His life would be ruined. That recording is more than kids being cruel. Mitsuru jumped from the school roof that very night.
I get it. You have that much more to lose.
Same for all my classmates. Kurokawa, most graduates go off to great universities, and one started his own company.
And they're all in your position too, huh?
Exactly. He waited for all of us to get what we wanted in life, just so he could threaten. And when that time came, he started contacting us.
When was the first time Kawana approached you?
5 years ago. I was out on— At first, I barely— Then without so much as a word, he's a psychopath!
Well, all you kids tormenting Mitsuru looked pretty—
Oh, and you're so perfect. And ain't never lashed out at someone weaker than you, or sided with the group. We were just lucky enough to have some creep tape us, picking on some kid who— Why did this have to happen to me?
I'd say it's because bad things happen to bad people. You'll sling your barbs from a safe distance, but once you're on the—
You said it was 5 years ago that Kawana showed you the video? Reminds me of something Shirosaki-sensei was
What?
looking— There was this guy. I think his name was Shinya Kawai.
Then it was you guys. You're the ones who abducted him in Kamurocho and murdered him.
No! It wasn't us!
It wasn't us, huh? So you're not denying he was murdered after
All
all?
Sensei told us was to find Kawai and bring him back with us. No—
Did Kawana tell you what he wanted?
He needs to be there when you all beg for forgiveness, is all he said. And if we refused, so we all went to see Kawai, but he wanted— Considering he'd cost him everything.
But doing nothing would cost the rest of you
Yes. So we had to—
Yeah, That lines up. So then what happened?
We were directed to bring him to a wharf in Yokohama. After that, he said we were free to go.
So you left him there alone with Kawana?
We had to.
What did it say?
Nothing. There was only a video. It was of all of us, pushing Kawhi into the van. Turns out he recorded what we did in the city. You can see all our faces so clearly. Even if you know all the backstory, the video is a clear... As I was watching it the first time, when I saw it, I just went cold. That's when I knew I would never be able to escape him. It was a picture of Kawhi. Dead. Anyone who saw those messages would think we killed him after
And that's how he got his real leverage on his former students.
Since then, we've been at his beck and call.
He's giving you orders?
That man! He forces us. He makes us accomplices to...
Murder.
What the hell?
Any bullies involved in suicides. Tatsu Sensei's. He doesn't even care how old the case is. If a student commits suicide, and as far as I know, counting Kawhi, I think he's killed. at least.
7? How's he...
So his idea of justice is killing both?
He said that's the only way we can atone. Anyone who drives someone to suicide. Until society comes to terms with this. That way, we might be able to save the next.
Not sure I should say this out loud, but I'm kind of rooting for this guy now.
yeah, let's not.
So was the murder of Hiro Mikoshiba part of that agenda? We know Mikoshiba drove Ihara-san to suicide 4 years prior. That has to be why Kawana let Ihara murder him. And how you found your role in it.
Not just me. Grabbing Mikoshiba required a good number of people. All the people who pinned Ihara down. And even the ones who...
So that's how it went down.
We had an unspoken agreement that we wouldn't directly take part in any killing. He just makes us his accomplices somehow. But the one thing we can, if we do, he'll send his video, and then Kawhi's body will turn up with our fingerprints all over his corpse. And we know that because he's hidden Kawhi.
He's preserving one of his...
So as long as he has that, you're...
Sounds to me like Kawana's had one thing on his mind. Sitting on that video and becoming an Ijincho handyman was all in service of his... He's dragged all his former students into this hell.
Is today that day?
We'll see. I'm still...
What?
There are these scumbags chasing down Kawana called RK. What part did they play? Strangely enough, they never came up once during your confession. So tell me, why'd they come for Yokosawa?
That I don't know for certain. But since he was asking her about the suicide...
The suicide at Seiryo High.
The lawsuit played out like no bullying took place, right? But Yoko-chan was a teacher there. And
How'd he do that?
from Yoko-chan's perspective, she and Sensei were both... I think that's why she let her guard down. After learning the truth, Sensei believed Mikoshiba needed to be helped.
So if Sawa-sensei hadn't talked to him, Ihara wouldn't have gotten it, and none of this would be happening in...
Possibly.
No, this isn't right. Sawa-sensei didn't know She thought she was just talking through her problems with a sympathetic ex-teacher. At the very least, she sure as hell didn't...
It's not like we're the ones who did it.
Who is it?
Block number. Hello?
Yo, know who this is, Yaga?
Kawana?
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm willing to meet you now if you come alone. But
What?
All right. She's free as soon as I see you.
works for me. Then come on down to your
What?
Gotta say, this
Pretty
chick-
sure I locked up behind me.
Listen, I'll only meet... And don't make me wait long.
He told me to meet him alone. You can let Mamiya-san go once I confirm he's there.
You gonna be alright by yourself?
Well, he already knows Mamiya-san's with us. I'm guessing he was one, and I can't afford to do anything that would piss him off.
Got it.
No. We'll take care of this end.
suspicious. What could this mean? What could this mean? What could this mean? Signal's close. Bingo. Here we go. And stay down. What a waste.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。いらっしゃいませ。 ありがとうございます。
Hey, this drawing. I can hear it. This drawing. This drawing. Tough to hear. This drawing.
Hope you don't mind I let myself in. Now, are you gonna hold up your end and release Yui Mamiya? Come on. You and I can either try to make this work, or neither of us is gonna get what we want. So, you gonna make the call or what?
Hello? Yagami-san?
I'm with Kawana. You can let Mamiya-san go.
Got it. Will do.
Sorry about all this, Yagami. Why don't you sit down? Maybe it's time you and I had a heart-to-heart. How's Kaito holding up?
Kaito-san's recovering in the hospital. For now. Sawa-sensei is another story, though.
I can hardly believe it. She was the last person I wanted to get mixed up in all this shit.
If that's the case, why were you already waiting in her apartment? RK's top men were lying in wait over there to get their hands on you. So why was she the one lying on the ground? Answer me, Kawana. Was it because of you?
Would you feel better if it was?
How dare you?
You're thinking that if you hadn't stuck your nose in her affairs, she might be at home grading her papers right now. You tell me, is that what's eating away at you right now? Because if it is, you're mistaken. That guilt is mine alone to bear. It's my burden to carry. When I saw on the news that she had been murdered in cold blood, it felt like the whole world had stopped spinning to me. I would take it all back right now if I could. But unfortunately, to fix this, I'd need to turn the clock back further than you'd think.
You mean back to when you were a school teacher?
Yeah, basically. Back to when I still had a little faith in humanity. Seeing someone's life get cut short, you never really bounce back from it, do you? But I don't have to tell you that. I did my homework on you, Yagami. It seems you were a fairly accomplished lawyer. You even scored a murder acquittal. But we both know how that ended. The death of an innocent young woman. You and I are the same. We both have scars. And they're the type of scars that never fully heal.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
But for Sawa-kun, it was 13 years ago. The very day before Mitsuru Kusamoto jumped, she stopped me in the hall so she could tell me about how serious the bullying really was. Up until that day, I'd just assumed it was boys being boys, teasing. I figured it was harmless, that they'd get bored with it, and then they'd move on. I mean, come on. Kawai had to have been twice the size of Mitsuru. It's not like I'd seen any fighting, so I warned him not to overdo it, and eventually he would take the hint.
Well, according to what I was told, you smirked, actually.
Yeah, I guess that's what I did. I was too late. Sawa-kun had to point it out. Sensei, how could you be so blind, she asked. Her eyes were this piercing mix of pity and scorn. According to what she told me, nearly half the class was bullying Mitsuru. She said she'd seen him at the station. She made it sound like he had half a mind to jump onto the tracks right then and there. I'm not so presumptuous anymore, but back then I used to think my students were my biggest fans. I thought I'd won their hearts and minds, but the look on Sawa-kun's face that day made me see the truth. I couldn't just go on smiling like nothing happened. So I decided to do my homework. The next day, I put a hidden camera in the classroom after school.
So you admit that you're the one who recorded that video?
Yeah. You saw it, right? Talk about the ugly side of kids. Hard to watch, wasn't it? Unfortunately, by the time I picked up the camera and saw what it recorded, Mitsuru had made his jump. I missed him by a few crucial moments. What happened in that classroom was the final straw. Later on, all the bullies were asked what happened. Each and every one of them lied. Kawai started it. It wasn't our idea, they said. To anyone outside of it, all they'd seen was Kawai forcing Mitsuru to do his bidding. So the people held culpable were Kawai and myself. The callous homeroom teacher who deliberately turned a blind eye. That was the day I began living my life with real purpose.
So you couldn't forgive your students who got away with bullying. You went so far, you put aside your own life to make sure they atoned somehow.
That's right. Mitsuru Kusumoto's still a vegetable. He's as good as dead. But I don't care. We have no right to forget about him.
You say that, even though Sawa-sensei ended up paying for it. I'll ask you again. Why were you at her apartment the other day? Don't dodge the question this time.
I wouldn't say I dodged it. But I suppose I should explain from the beginning. 4 years ago, there was a suicide at Sawa-kun's school. It was her own student this time. You know this, right? A student at Seiryo High School? Toshiro Ehara.
Yeah.
When she was in court, Sawa-kun had no choice but to say there wasn't any bullying. Soon as she told me that, I knew Hiro Mikoshiba would be my next target. Of course, she had no idea about any of that. When Sawa-kun learned Mikoshiba had been murdered, though, she reached out to me herself.
What did she want?
She had a sneaking suspicion that I was involved in his death. She called me a few times, prodding carefully for answers. Quite the perceptive lady, really.
And? What kind of answers did you give her?
I denied any knowledge of it, but at one point, she mentioned something kind of odd. That there was a detective at the school already investigating the incident.
Huh?
She meant you, of course. A detective already knee-deep into the case, despite the police barely even knowing about Mikoshiba. The police are a pain in the ass. But when an out-of-town detective comes sniffing around, that's bad. I knew I had to act fast to get you off the trail. Although, Sawa-kun was a problem too. I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone.
And then what?
First, I found out where the two of you would be meeting up, at that little cafe. Then, I hired the Liumang to step in. But you put up one hell of a fight. They had strength in numbers, but you would have taken out the whole group if I hadn't stepped in. Nonetheless, my other message went through. At the same time, Sawa-kun was handed a photo of Mikoshiba's final moments. I left that task to someone you know. Yue Mamiya. They hadn't seen each other in 13 years. Sawa-kun had no idea.
The lady in the sunglasses. Yui Mamiya was involved in that too?
Everything I did that night was intended as a warning to Sawa-kun. Although, I guess I didn't have to be so extreme about it.
Yeah. Sawa-sensei was too smart. She must have started suspecting that you'd had something to do with Mikoshiba's murder. After all, who else could have known we'd be meeting at that cafe? She'd have traced it right back to you.
Even if Sawa-kun had started to suspect me, I knew she wouldn't sell me out to the cops. We're too alike. The both of us lost students to suicide on our watch. That said, I couldn't bear the thought of dragging her down into the mess I started, so I scared her off, and I thought she would stay away. The day she was killed, she called to ask if we could speak in person. I could tell something was wrong. She was on the verge of tears the whole call. Then she broke down. I asked her why, of course, but she wouldn't give me a straight answer no matter how I tried to phrase the question.
So then what? Did you just waltz on over there? It doesn't seem like you.
Watch it. You don't know me well enough to say that.
Maybe. But I assume you had some sort of plan going in. Were you gonna confess to her?
Here's the thing. If she'd figured out that I was behind Mikoshiba, and it didn't sit well with her, I would have told her every last detail. Sawakun knew. I think she would have understood me. Or at least that's what I had believed. In hindsight, I think she was forced to make that call. Under normal circumstances, I'm sure she'd have rather washed her hands of me. Hard as it is to hear, I think she called me under duress. RK probably had her hostage. That would explain the vague responses. That's probably why her voice was trembling. It's tragic.
You mean it was RK? Why do they want you so badly anyway?
I don't know.
What?
If I knew their angle, I'd be doing more than just scurrying around.
You serious?
Believe me, I'm just as clueless as you are, much as I hate to admit it. Honest. I'm not thrilled that a small army wants my head on a platter. Have you noticed how RK seems to show up at the worst possible times? Someone must be pulling their strings.
Then we're on the same page. At least we agree on something.
Just a sec. Yeah. I'm still over here with Yagami-san. You're not being tailed by any of his guys, are you? Okay. Then I'll meet you right now. That was Mamiya-kun. She said she's free. You guys have been true to your word. Tell Sugiura-kun that I said thank you.
Now you want to go? We still have some business to settle here.
Now remember, I'm the handyman here. Let me do the dirty work. I don't know what else to tell you. But you need to get out while you still can.
If you disappear into the night, I don't want to go busting my ass just to find you again. Before you leave, I'll need some contact info. A phone number would be nice.
Oh, no need for that. As far as I'm concerned, this is goodbye.
I wouldn't count on that. Hold up!
Now look at you!
You won't get away!
Don't give up! Leave me alone!
Hold up!
Now look at you! Don't give up!
You won't get away!
Now look at you! Leave me alone!
Hold up!
Anything else to do?
You won't get away!
You don't give up!
Hold up! won't get away.
Yeah.
Catch you later! Damn it! Get back here! What the? Where'd he... Kawana! You guys again. Do you really need the mask?
You heard that, right? The detective here already knows everything.
Kawana!
What are you going to do now? What do you think happens when he spills everything? Sounds like your lives are over, unless you shut him up.
But Sensei, you'll finish the job for us, right?
Huh? Is that you,
Oh, he's even got a name to your voice.
Answer me, Sensei!
I know. I'll be the one to finish it.
Okay then. Come on. What kind of lesson? Kawana? Oh no, Kawana! Really? So nice of you to stick around. Mamiya-san. Well, since Kawana couldn't stay, sounds like you're not out of the woods just yet, huh?
"13 years in the past. Mitsuru Kusimoto plunged himself into a coma, sealing his fate alongside Kawana's. Ridden by guilt, Kawana sets off on a path of vengeance, and the bullies he drags with him are shackled to the shadows. However, Yokosawa's murder serves as a deadly wake-up call to what he's done.
Hey.
Getting your identification on record, so you won't be a And I think you owe us after everything you've done. Your carriage awaits, Mamiya-san.
Don't tell me we're going back to that
We sure are. But try not to hold a grudge. Higashi, You already called Sari-san.
Yeah, I let him know what's up.
Did Shirosaki-sensei
Well, she was pretty stunned when I...
sounding a little smug there, Higashi-san? Taking credit for the detective work you...
Whatever, man. Kawana, still, the task in front of us is finishing Sari-san. With Mamiya-san's help, of...
Finally, I'm ready to... Well, we still got time till Shirosaki-sensei gets here.
Huh?
Sure. I'll call you
Yeah.
once.
A break sounds...
By the way, Higashi, is anything unusual?
Yeah, about that. My guys are... Soma and Akutsu are out in Ijincho, too. When they come back, then they can pay for what they...
Make them pay? Aren't you...
That's not the Yakuza in me talking.
Isn't that exactly what a
Fine. Think of it as getting... I'm doing the right thing!
Yeah, maybe...
Besides, what's it matter if I was Yakuza?
Whatever you say.
They're gonna pay for what they did to Haniki.
Relax, Yagami-san.
Hey, Yagami-san.
Hey,
Shirosaki-sensei and the others just got to Charles.
got it.
Thanks.
Starving. Pretty tasty, thanks. Really?
What? Am I... I figured if they could...
Why are all these people here?
We've been waiting for you, Yagami-san. Mamiya-san is
Good.
about... Oh, and I heard about Sawa-sensei.
Looks like she got mixed up in all this when Arcade... But we're still not sure why they... To figure that out, we'll have to reach...
Exactly.
That said, let's start...
Fine.
Pout all you want, but keep the answers straight.
Ihara's assault was designed to establish a false alibi, so Kawana had you play the victim. And together you...
Can you confirm if this is all accurate?
Yeah.
The person who groped you on the train wasn't Ihara-san himself, and my understanding is that he had conspired...
That's right.
What was Kawana doing at the time?
Didn't you hear your lady friend? And that stand-in was our sensei.
You mean Kawana posed as Ihara? So this Ihara was actually Kawana?
Sensei and Ihara-san have a pretty similar...
But some spots don't look right, like his mouth.
That part around his mouth is fake. He said he scanned Ihara-san's face.
Oh, huh. You can print things in 3D now?
Well, it's a machine that takes a model's data from a computer. So if you were to scan a person's face...
I don't know the details, but that's what Sensei used to become Ihara.
Something like this. See, with a 3D printer, a piece of a face is pretty easy to make.
What the hell?
I see. His eyes are hidden behind the sunglasses, and the seams on his jaw are obscured by the mask.
That's incredible, I must say. With the mouth area so visible, and with the prosecution assuming he's just another sexual predator.
This is no time to be impressed. In case you forgot.
Right.
Assuming Kuwana was Ihara's double, there's still some...
I'm of the same opinion.
Okay.
How should we be looking at this?
The guy getting taken down in the footage is the real Ihara-san. Sensei had already switched places with them before the scene happened. No one saw through his disguise.
Makes sense. There'd be no way to swap places after getting caught like this. His sunglasses were removed too.
Also, the person who tripped him was one of ours. So was the one who took the smartphone video. If nobody tried to stop him, he would have just gotten away. But the most important part of it was pinning Ihara-san as the culprit
Right.
out.
If that didn't happen...
More or less.
So basically, this entire battery case was kept... This piece of the puzzle
Is that...
The police examined the trace evidence on it, and from the analysis, the same fibers from Mamiya's...
That's right. If the stand-in was the groper, but the evidence on Ihara-san's hands...
I take it there was a trick to this?
That simple. Before I got in the train, I met with the... That's when I had him touch the undergarment. After that, all I had to do was go to the bathroom and put them on. What the police found on Ihara-san's hands was exactly... The courts really ate it up.
You're really starting to open up. That's the spirit. How about this?
And this it...
Before the incident, Ihara used this card to go...
Right, and it was on October...
Thanks, Hoshino-kun.
Happy to help, Yagami.
At the earliest, Mikoshiba's time of death. If Ihara killed Mikoshiba in a Jinsho, and frankly, that's impossible.
That's what... Sensei borrowed the card from Ihara-san beforehand and passed it. Afterward, he slipped it back to Ihara-san. That way, Ihara-san ended up having the...
So even the entry time through the ticket
It all
gate
seems so obvious now that I hear it. Nope.
Yeah. And on top of all that, no one knew Mikoshiba...
Anything else?
Any thoughts after seeing this?
Stop it.
You're gonna look away? You aided and...
I mean, yes.
Who put this video...
Sensei did. He said from the start that...
So that was all part of...
Yeah. Sensei can't forgive the law for how easy it lets... His son's death was brushed aside. And that's what led them to... The real victim is some bully who never got what he deserved, and the killer gets off in court by being convicted of battery. How would the public respond after finding out
So Kuwana and Ihara's real plan was to make...
Seems to be going well for them.
I guess Ihara really was dead. He was never concerned about his own punishment.
Yeah? Cop or not, nobody took responsibility for his son.
I can't even...
Yeah.
Sensei and Ihara-san are the perfect pair with no... Speaking of which,
Yagami-san, you sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think we've got plenty. At the very least, we know that the prosecution's evidence can all be refuted.
The courts were being intentionally misled.
Are you saying you want a retrial?
I am. We'll reveal
Why do you...
Well, the previous as the client, doesn't matter what any lawyer tries to do.
Then we'll talk to him tomorrow. First, we need...
Sounds good.
Will do.
So...
Sure are.
Yo, Yagami.
Yeah?
I mean, she helped Kuwana kill...